What do you think of Andrew Tate? Idiotic grifting crybaby that uses buzzwords to convince mediocre men that they're somehow special that they get to treat others like shit. The fact that he has any decent following is a testament to a growing problem in society. I think that he uses the hatred that are in people's hearts partially as a joke, but people will resonate with that. And he can make money by pushing the narrative that a man is innately worthless. But with hard work one can become more and desired without pointing out the sexism or parts of their character that are the true flaws. He's good with words and says what people want to hear and how many people want to hear it. He's smart, I can't lie. But not so much the people who follow him. I doubt he believes half the shit he spews. I think he is smart, funny, and a good role model. Of course, I don't agree with him on everything, but overall I think he's a cool dude. I also want to add that I think he is playing a character and using a lot of jokes to make his point come across better. He is a marketer, and marketers know that you need to get your message across by standing out, which is what he does. He's one of those douchebags that think constant aggression is the key to success when it only leads to a broken, fragile ego and an incel following. He says a lot of shit I disagree with and he's plain wrong about. He's also admitted that his webcam company was a scam. But then again, this entire world is corrupt, from corporations to politicians and governments. He's ruthless and is willing to sacrifice his ethics to reach the top. So be it, that's reality. I also think his Hustlers University thing is borderline scammy. He's teaching all the popular make money online methods for $50 divided by month. First, he's not personally teaching any of them. Second, he never got rich with those methods. Third, these are not long-term money-making methods, so the fact that he promotes them as such is scam-like. If you drop out of work, college, and think you'll get rich from his product, then you're most likely going to end up broke. I think he's spot on about discipline, achieving success, thinking highly of yourself, surrounding yourself with winners, how a lot of the world is corrupt and a scam, how the middle class is getting fucked by inflation and rising asset prices, prioritizing health, the differences between men and women, not being okay with the degradation of society, and women engaging in slutty behavior, and men not taking charge, having a strict society, the decline of the West, etc. Basically, he's spot on with some things and dead wrong about others. It's up to you to take what's useful and discard the rest. The problem with most people, especially Redditors, is they look at someone like him, get triggered emotionally, and don't know how to separate the good from the bad, or the right from the wrong. And most people aren't that intelligent. I've seen a ton of top comments accusing him of sex trafficking or beating women when he was never charged with either. And it was pretty apparent that the beating women video was a kink thing, and the girl had even posted 2 videos afterwards saying it was just for fun and berated Andrew for not slapping her harder. The video itself even looked scripted AF. But people are emotional sheep and they'll upvote whatever fits their narrative or makes them feel better without doing their due diligence. I'm not saying that Tate fans are any better either. In fact, I'd say most of them are worse and are mostly idiots who just repeat whatever he says. What color is you are booga TTI without dissecting or truly understanding what he's saying. Most of his fans are just hypnotized by his form, his charisma, cars, women, appearance, rich lifestyle, etc. I like listening to him because it makes me think, but I often find myself in an internal dialogue in which I'm disagreeing with about 30–40% of the things he's saying. The other 60% he's saying is interesting, but most people don't question the world around them or think critically like he does. Most people just criticize, or just accept the narrative and go with the flow. I also think he'd be motivating to have in your network or friend group. I have many friends from my past who are basically bums and do nothing with their lives. I'd rather hang out with someone who's interested in success and business, because that rubs off on you. He's this year's incel poster child. It's going to have someone else soon. People like him thrive through the outrage they cause, but that gets stale super fast. Honestly, I don't see why the guy got banned. A lot of what he says is true. I think it's the delivery in which he says some things or the fact that most of his stuff is taken out of context that may have people upset. But in all honesty, I don't think he's bad at all. Only watched his Piers Morgan interview and nothing else. Based off of that, he seems unjustly demonized. But this isn't at all surprising. I've found that any statement halfway critical towards women is now considered inceldom and hatred and misogyny nowadays by way too many people. My advice would be to ignore the noise and come to your own conclusions about him, as well as any public figure, really. He might be looked over and criticized a lot, but he has helped youngsters to grow and get rid of their problems associated with growing up after 13. Just another dude that thinks he's figured out something essential about the way the world works, but in reality he's constructed a worldview that is sad, self-limiting, and way oversimplified. He will never know love. I don't know much about him, but he seems way too extravagant. He's a profligate, but he constantly complains about a lot of things. One example is when he complained about his girlfriend calling him out to a restaurant to eat some supposedly spicy food, whereas he complained that she was wasting his time by dragging him out of his warm house to a cold plaza. That part just doesn't seem too good on Tate's part. I have nothing against the part where he said that she was challenging him though. He calls bodybuilders pussies who work out only to avoid fights, which seems like a bold statement tbh. Overall, I don't know. Tate seems like a cool person aesthetically, but his statements are fairly stupid. I don't know 99% of the things that he has said, but I see him as more of a pussy than bodybuilders, who he himself calls pussies. That bald head ass thinks he is the best when his fucking body looks like a bottle of tomatoes with vomit, thinks he is the richest when he didn't even meet the Kardashians, a fucking sexist. MISOGYST. Pig. Bald when his ass is full of hair. When Mitchell Jackson meted him, he said hina even Jack Hetrick is better than him. Do you know how Jack Hetrick is? Me neither. That's why even air is better than him, bitch.